Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on E.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Cincinnati Bengals. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Up, lead. 58, come on. Blue there.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And his first pass is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. It's taken to the 26. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. A lot of people felt Johnson was a little misused during what was a disappointing 2018. 940 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. Great for most, but not the season Johnson was hoping for. And he said this offseason, there are a lot of good running backs in the NFL, but I'm the best. And now he's trying to prove it, hoping to get back to the production that sent him to the Pro Bowl in 2016. That would certainly help his rookie quarterback. Now this is Callaway on the receiving end. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. That's taken in by Callaway. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Darquez Denard there to make the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
From the 16, Murray under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Vigil coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And out now, here come the Bengals. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And an alley to run. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
On side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that carries over now to October, because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st down, Johnson. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 8 more yards this time, coming off back-to-back 1st down pickups. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So that flag will cost him 15.
Here we go.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray, and with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Now Murray. And the pressure gets to him again. Geno Atkins able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, with the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So here are the Cardinals to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Murray now to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray, it's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 3rd down from the gun. Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Passing, it's Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw again. Dalton finding Green complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Another chance for Dalton. Got his man. It's Eifert. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From midfield here, Dalton. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Willie Henry picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And he's going to go down again. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up. Here we go. Pittsburgh, 50 seconds to mine. Rip left, rip left.
A final shot before half from Murray. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From the 31, Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
To throw, it's Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Cardinals worst in the NFL, 6 of 16 on 4th down last year, but they'll try it here. Murray sets to throw on 4th. That's complete over the middle to Callaway. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They look to throw on third with Dalton. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Dalton knew to get Eifert for the Cincinnati first. Got a shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On the delay, it's Mixon. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. And he's going to be stopped up just short of the first down at the Cardinals' 42. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Thought that might be the goose egg breaker. Still stuck on 0.
Yeah, this is still a tight game, too. We got to keep that in mind because that miss there, you hang your head, you let it affect you the next time you go out there, then you've really hurt your ball club. Get yourself together. You might get another opportunity, and they're going to count on you to put it through the post.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Again, it's Johnson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Throwing now is Murray. And that is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a first down. Well, that's a familiar connection right there. Christian Kirk was in the same class as Kyler Murray at Texas A&M. They played together as freshmen before Murray transferred. Kirk, though, he stayed in College Station, had a great 3-year career before being drafted 47th overall in 2018. Was having a solid rookie campaign last year, but then broke his foot in Week 13 and was shut down the rest of the way. Throwing again, Murray. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 23. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll run on first down. Johnson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. They go to Johnson again. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Here's Murray. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him down.
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Antonio Callaway, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the fourth quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready. On the field, if you have that much time, take free and you'll find an open receiver. On a two-point conversion, all that extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Andy Dalton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The run there on first down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And Dalton to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll make it 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Check 59, Mike is 59. Mike's the 59.
Murray now on first down. Steps away to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Now down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to...
Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Show it up. Show me. Watch safety screen. Safety screen.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And he finds Fitzgerald. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Get ready. Get ready.
It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brandon, if I wanted to run the football this close to the goal line, I think I just turn around and hand it to my tailback. Too many things could go wrong in this situation. I think they're fortunate just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Antonio Callaway with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Cardinals push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the... Fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded at about the 28. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the fourth quarter now. And the Titans have just scored, so they add on to their lead. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup of 38. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Murray. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Corey Peters there to bring him down. From the 35 on 2nd down, Dalton. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
He's going to let it fly. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last for
a long time.
No doubt.
And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better.